Hello everybody, welcome back to the Total Extreme Wrestling 2016 Developer's Diary, or Developer's Journal. We are here on February 18th with two new entries. First, we have the Habit Effect upgrade. In previous games, a worker's lifestyle/habits were always on, i.e. if he was a heavy drinker, it would impact every match and angle that he appeared in. It has now been upgraded so that they work in conjunction with his consistency stat, which I find kind of weird, but also, I mean, it makes sense. I don't know what other stat you would tie it to, really. Maybe reputation? Maybe. Meaning that the effects are more hit and miss, therefore more realistic. This is particularly the case with low doses, which have much less chance of causing an issue. This change, as well as being for realism, also makes workers with bad habits less of a burden in terms of their performance, and therefore slightly more attractive in terms of higher ability. This plays into some of the other backstage features which come later in the journal, as it creates more of a risk-reward balance where you can bring in talented but troubled workers to enjoy the benefits of his in-ring work, but at the expense of the possible negatives that his habits may cause backstage. In addition, smoking no longer impacts match ratings, as there are many real-life smokers who don't seem to have any issues with long matches or general in-ring quality, and neither does historic, i.e. no long ongoing drug use. Instead, these habits impact the worker's life expectancy and physical decline only. Alright. Now I'm wanting to say this, what this to me sounds like is that if you hire someone who does drugs, then it's more likely that some people in your locker room develop that drug habit because they can get it from that guy who's already doing that, or the same thing for drinking or smoking or whatever. But this is definitely cool because in a lot of historic mods in the 80s and 90s, there are a lot of people on drugs. A lot of very popular people on drugs. So having them not always on, so you could work with the Shawn Michaels, you can work with the Scott Halls, you can work with the Hulk Hogan's and the other really over drug users like Lex Luger and such. Having that tied to their consistency and not having to work with them like that, I'm being able to work with them without getting punished is a lot better, because now you feel like, okay, I can use these guys now. Instead of, I could use these guys, they're really over, but they also do a lot of drugs and I don't want to. So, it definitely is a good change. Wrongful termination. In previous games, there was a slight loophole where if a work you wanted to get rid of did something minor, like fire that's backstage, you could choose to terminate his deal, thus avoiding paying him the money if he'd have been owed from ending his contract the normal way and not having to deal with his morale hit, as he was not on your roster anymore anyway. This was a useful but gamey way of occasionally avoiding a big severance fee while simultaneously removing some dead weight. In TEW 16, this loophole has been closed because workers can now take legal action if they feel it was a wrongful termination. Like, if you got fired for farting backstage, that's wrongful termination. If you got fired for failing 3 or 4 drug tests, that's not wrongful termination. If they choose to take this route, a legal claim is lodged and taken to the courts. A month or so later, a decision will be taken. Either the claim is rejected, in which case nothing further happens, or is it accepted, in which case the company will be liable to pay him. The amount will usually be considerably higher than it would have been if he just terminated his contract the normal legal way to begin with. So, I mean, yeah, it's kind of sad that the loophole's gone, but I never really used it to fire someone farting. I used it to fire someone who is causing a lot of backstage trouble and who is very expensive, and I just don't want to have on the roster anymore. So, I don't think this will really affect me unless, I don't know, they sue for wrongful termination, and they get the claim accepted. In which case, I guess I wrongfully terminated them. Whatever. But it's definitely a cool new thing that's like, okay, this is cool. This is more realistic. I like it. It adds a deeper layer to the game. It's great. I'm loving all these deeper layers so far in this dev journal, dev diary, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, yeah, good. Alright, so this is going to be it for the episode, guys. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next TEW 2016 Developers Journal / Dev Diary. Bye!